Yo up everyone, welcome back to the History of Football channel. Tonight I'm going to be doing another video as part of my Forgotten Football Ground series. I've already done the likes of Filbert Street, the former home ground of Leicester. I've done the Dell, the former home ground of Southampton. I've done Della Alpi. I've also done a few Ligue 1 grounds like the former home ground of Lyon and Nice, Bordeaux, clubs like that. But tonight I'll be doing Derby County's former ground, the baseball ground. The baseball ground was constructed in 1889 and it was opened in 1890, and its first ever name was Leys Baseball Ground or Leys Baseball Ground, and that was named after Francis Lee or Sir Francis Lee, and he was an industrialist and he owned the Leys Malibu Castings Vulcan Ironworks Company. Francis Lee had been inspired by a trip to America where he liked the sport of baseball, and when he came back to England he decided that he was going to build a recreational ground for his workers that worked at this ironworks, and that's when the Derby Baseball Club was founded, and they were the initial tenants at the ground and they played there for a while. Derby County, the football club, was founded in 1884 and they initially played at the cricket ground there, the county cricket ground, so they moved to the ground in 1895. When they moved to the ground in 1895, Francis Lee put down £7,000 to raise the attendance from 4,000 seats to 20,000 seats. Derby County's first official match at the baseball ground came on the 14th of September 1895, and they beat Sunderland 2-0 in front of 10,000 people. Derby County in the 1920s were thinking about leaving the baseball ground, but they ended up buying the ground off Francis Lee and the shareholders there. They paid £10,000 for the ground and they bought it outright to own it. In 1926, when the club were promoted from the second division, they decided to build some new stands, and they built 2 stands. One of them was designed by Archibald Leach, who was a famous stadium designer. He built several stands around the country, most notably at Villa Park, Goodison Park and places like that. In 1933, the Osmaston end was constructed. This was a double-decker stand. And in 1941, the Osmaston end was damaged by a German bomb during the raids in World War II. So for a while there, Derby County had to play away from the baseball ground. It was around about this time, though, that they had a bit of success in the FA Cup. They won the 1946 FA Cup. The club continued to play at the ground and it rose in capacity. It went from 20,000 up to 40,000. And around about that time in the late 1960s, early 1970s, the club had some success under Brian Clough. They won 2 first division titles and they were a very good side in them days. However, in the 1980s, fortunes changed at the club and they did get relegated. And then with the likes of Hillsborough and the Heysel disaster, things like that, that didn't help the club. And one of them things which happened to a lot of clubs across England, well, actually all of them, was the Taylor Report. And in that Taylor Report, it was suggested that all grounds in England had to be all-seater. So as a result of the Taylor Report, Derby County's ground was changed in attendance and it went down to around about 18,000 seats, which was not ideal for Derby County because at the time they were in the second division. They were looking to get promoted to the top division and they were thinking about moving away. In the early 90s, there was plans for them to move away from the baseball ground once again. There was also talk of them maybe having to redevelop the baseball ground. There was a thing I read about them looking to construct a 26,000 seater stadium where the baseball ground was, but then talks never materialized in anything. But in February 1996, it was announced that Derby County would be moving away from the baseball ground and that they'd be building a new all-seater stadium, which would later turn out to be Pride Park, where they play now. The final ever game to be played, and when I mean a game, I mean Premier League match or professional top division match, which occurred on the 11th of May 1997. Derby County were beaten 3-1 by Arsenal in front of just over 18,000 fans. With Derby County, though, their time at the baseball ground didn't finish there. The Derby County Academy, or the reserve squad, they continued to play at the ground until 2003. It wasn't until 2003 that the ground was demolished, and it made way for 150 homes. And there's also a commemorative statue at the ground as well, which details some of the history and some of the things which happened at the baseball ground. When we look at records which happened at the baseball ground in Derby County's time there, the record victory at the baseball ground occurred on the 21st of January 1899. Derby County beat Sheffield Wednesday 9-0. The biggest attendance at the baseball ground occurred on the 20th of May 1969. 41,826 people turned out to watch Derby County play against Tottenham Hotspur, and the lowest attendance at the ground happened on the 15th of November 1994, where 1,562 people turned out to watch Derby County play against Udinese, an Italian side in the Anglo-Italian Cup. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, Derby County had a lot of success at the baseball ground. They pretty much won all their trophies in their history at this ground. The 1946 FA Cup, the 2 First Division titles, and they also won a Charity Shield while being based at the baseball ground. So that concludes my video about the baseball ground, the former home ground of Derby County. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know in the comment section below. If you've been to this ground or you have any memories of this stadium, let me know in the comment section below. I'm pretty sure this is a ground which has a lot of fond and dear memories to all Derby County fans from a certain age demographic, and I'm pretty sure it'll always be remembered in the hearts of Derby County supporters. So this has been the history of football. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be doing some more videos very, very shortly. There's plenty of forgotten grounds out there, and I intend to do them all. So take care everyone, and I'll catch us all later. Tatty bye for now.